Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison. Today we have Tomzo on 1111 rating versus Damn Shorty OK on 863 rating. So Tomzo into the top 100. Damn Shorty OK is just outside the top 200, but making their way up there. They're also on something a bit weird, so we're going to check it out. Opening hands: Braincon, Plague, Trap Dust Shoot, Vayu, and Bottomless. Statistics like Vayu Turbo. This is Miracle Fusion, Warrior Lady, Ocean, Gear Frame, Call of the Horned, and Machina Force. So looks like Machina Hero, but then they're also playing like a Warrior package. So yeah, let's see it. Damn sure you're going to start us off with set Warrior Lady, set Call, and pass. Draw for turn is a Sirocco now. So they're going to summon out the Vayu. Attempt to get in. Going to see it's the DD Warrior Lady, and they are going to choose to banish. Yeah, I think that's a really good exchange actually. Yeah, I think that's actually okay. Okay for Damn Shorty, obviously. Sets the Trap Dust Shoot now. Pass. Draw for turn is a Fortress. Okay, so they are going to Trap Dust Shoot. I think they have to pick the Ocean here because it's the only hero, and they're seeing the Miracle Fusion. No, they pick the Gear Frame. Why do you pick the Gear Frame? Yeah, I mean, the Gear Frame gets you into 2 fortresses, I guess. But I think you have to take out the Ocean, right? Surely you're more worried about the hero stuff. Okay, so Gear Frame going back. They're going to pitch Force for Fortress, summon Ocean. Yeah, this is 4k. This is huge. Yeah, and pass. Okay, draw for turn is a Hamster. They have the Braincon Sirocco line here. Yeah, they're going to Braincon now. Take the Fortress. Yeah, battle first. Yeah, much better. Get over the Ocean. Tribute for the Sirocco. Set the Bottomless. Pass. Call of the Horned in end phase. Yeah, nice. Played around the Bottomless. Really nice. Yeah, that's scary. Pick up return as a Bottomless now, and they've got the Miracle Fusion. And they've got a Gaia if they want it. Yeah, just going to go straight to battle phase. That's going to be over the Sirocco now. Sets the Bottomless and pass. Draw for turn is a Vayu. Yeah, I was going to say, I think you just set the Hamster here, right? Draw for turn is the Gear Frame. They're going to Gear Frame. Yeah, Gear Frame add Force. Yeah, going to hold that Bottomless for the Fortress coming out. Because you know that the Hamster is going to carry here into the Raikou. Raikou going to target the Haunted. Yeah, target the Call of the Haunted. There's good. It takes out the Fortress without targeting the Fortress and pitching from your hand. And then they're going to mill Card Trooper, Hamster, and Greffer. That's nice. That's not bad. That's not bad. You probably wanted to see the Card Trooper. You probably didn't want to see another Hamster. And getting a Dark Engrave is okay. Draw for turn is return now. Yeah, this is looking rough for Tomzo. Sets the return, sets the Vayu, pass. Draw for turn here is another Gear Frame. Jeez. Going to pitch the Force, bring out the Fortress. That's going to get hit with Bottomless. They're going to Gear Frame, and yeah, Tomzo's seen enough. Understandable. Yeah, they still had Miracle Fusion in hand as well for a Gaia, which Tomzo saw. So yeah, I'm fine with that concession. Opening hands this game: 2 Crow, Compulse, Solemn, and Force. Plague Spreader, Bottomless, Heavy, Cyber Dragon, Necro, and Allure. This might be secretly good, but it really sucks when you draw Plague and Necro. Allure, Trap Dust Shoot, Trap Dust Shoot Gale with a Cyber Dragon in hand. Yeah, get rid of the Necro and just play from here. Sets the Dust Shoot, sets the Bottomless. Wow, that hand became really good. Okay, draw for turn is the Crystal Seer. This is interesting. Every time I feature like a variant of Machina Hero, I talk about Crystal Seer. I'm a Crystal Seer believer. If you've never read this card, I haven't featured Machina Hero in a while. I'll forgive you. It's a level 1 water monster, spellcaster, flip effect. Excavate the top 2 cards from your deck, then add one of them to your hand. Then place the other one on the bottom of your deck. In the old errata, it's draw 2 cards. I think and place one on the bottom of your deck so your opponent doesn't see them. And this is just really cool. It's a water monster. It's a flip effect monster that gets you closer to like Miracle Fusion and all your bomb cards, and then can be used with that Miracle Fusion. So really cool card to see, still being kept in rotation. Yeah, they're going to see the hand now, and they are going to put the Crystal Seer back. Yeah, it's just the only starter, right? These crows don't really do anything. This force is just sat in hand. I think that's fine. You're just basically turn skipping your opponent now. Pick up a turn there as a Gauze. They're going to get in with the Gale now, so that's 13. They're going to set the heavy and pass. Yes, nice bluff. Draw 10 is another copy of Machina Forced. Yeah, this is rough. I think it looks like, you know, they're seeing side deck cards. Great. But, yeah, too many and not enough engine. Sets the Compulse, passes. Draw for turn is a return. They're going to get in with the Gale now. Yep, another 13 damage, and then they're going to pass. Draw for turn is a bottomless. Set that and pass. Draw for turn is dad. And yeah, this is just spell and trap cards, right? So that's not live. I'm going to go into battle phase. Get in for 13. Pass. Draw for turn is a fortress. Sets the solemn. Passes back. Yeah, choosing not to fortress. I guess you're quite worried about the back row. And actually Tomzo has an interesting decision to make at some point this turn, because they heavy storm. They're kind of up. They don't need this bottomless. They've got good cards in hand, and they'll be taking out some pretty good ones, or halving their opponent's life points. Yes, they are going to heavy, and they're going to let it go. Yeah. Okay, that feels rough. You're you're not far off game, and you're against a deck that you know is incredibly explosive. I think it's just what, Rota for Greffa here? Yeah, Rota for Greffa. Greffa Pitch Plague. Dump, yeah, whatever. Vayu is fine. Yep. Top deck for Plague. Yeah, gonna Crow. Both. Yeah. Makes sense. Crow's finally coming in. Yeah. Yeah, and because they had Crow, this is... Yeah, this is only 3k. They can't go any further, can they? Yeah, I guess they're taking them off Dad. Yeah. This works. This works. Damn sure he has seen another turn. They're going to bring out the Armor Master in defense. Yes, it's clever. Set the return and pass. Draw for turn is Crystal Seer now. Need a huge effort here to do something. They're going to stick the Machina Fortress, which is nice, and set the Crystal Seer. Let's see if that's enough. The Dark count looking a little too low, but they can modulate this with return pretty easily now. Yeah, let's see what he does. Yeah, or just Tribute for Cyber Dragon. Yeah, Tribute for Cyber Dragon. Take out the Fortress for Chimera Tech. Drop the Dad. Very nice. Yeah, very clean. Nice. Tomzo eventually got there. Yeah, it didn't look like it was. It didn't look good for Damn Shorty. But, yeah, they eventually got that. Oh, and they're playing the Old Art Stratos. Gross. Okay, opening hands. Charge, Plague, Burial, Rota, and Armonite. Gross Stratos. It looks fine, actually. You know, it's fine. It's just not the right one. E-Emergency, cool. Crystal Seer, Double Crow again, and Miracle Fusion. This isn't going to feel too bad this time, because now you've got 2 side deck cards and you've got enough engine to carry. So this is going to feel pretty good, actually. I'm going to set the Crystal Seer past. Draw for turn as a hamster. They're going to charge now. They managed to hit a Sirocco off that, which is pretty decent. Adds a Raikou. Yeah, going to summon the Armonite to dump the Vayu. Yeah, they're going to attempt to Vayu now. That's going to get met with a Crow. Armonite's going to try and get in. Crystal Seer. Going to add MST to the hand. And I didn't see what the other one was. Whatever. I'm not going back. Pass, draw for turn is a bottomless. They're going to summon out the Stratos now. Actually, we'll see it in the log. What am I doing? So it was... banished Machina Force. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Machina Force wasn't doing anything. Yeah, so MST is definitely the right take there. So Stratos is going to add Alias. Get into the Armonite now. Sets the bottomless. Pass. Draw for turn is a bottomless. They're going to set the hamster, set the bottomless, and pass. Draw for turns, trap, dash, shoot now. Okay, going to start with MST on the bottomless. That's nice. Alias can come out now, and this is really good because if you've seen them add Raikou, which means if they have a hamster, they're incentivized to set it now as a bit of a bluff. And yeah, that is gonna get over the hamster. Then the Stratos can get in. Raikou's going to take out the bottomless, and mill, Caius, hamster, and D-prison. Actually, not terrible mills. This is 3 darks now, and you've got the hamster out, which is going to be a bit slow this game if you were to pick it up now. Sets the trap dash shoot and passes. Draw for turn as an Armonite. They're going to trap dash shoot now. Yep. They're going to hit the plague back. Do you hit the plague? Yeah, I mean the Raikou, yeah, these monsters are kind of done there enough now, so the Raikou's fine. The Armonite dumps the plague anyway, but I guess you commit them to their normal summon. And the Rotor can just get the Armonite anyway. Yeah, it's not really a good choice there. The only one you can actually do anything about is the Raikou, and that's the one that you don't really care about. Okay, going to set the Raikou now and pass. Draw for turn as a Solemn. Going to e-call for the Prisma. For the Prisma, yeah. Now we're talking. Yeah, going to dump the ocean. Yeah, by revealing Terra Firma, and that has just made Miracle Fusion extra live. Yeah, the Raikou going to take out the Alias. Mills, the Card Trooper, Allure, and Torrential. These are not great mills. And then the Stratos can get in for some damage. Set the Solemn now and pass. Yeah, what can... This is a really good position that Damn Shorty finds himself in. They've got the Solemn, they've got the Crow, and they've got a Miracle Fusion to go for a game shot next turn. This is, yeah, this is pretty good. And if they have another Ocean, they can even boost it, right? Because this copies it. Does it copy the attribute? Oh, name becomes... Okay, yeah, it doesn't copy the attribute. Okay. Yeah, weird thing to look at Prisma for. Sets the Raikou, passes, draw for turn is a Gear Frame now. Yeah, Gear Frame's good. Gear Frame for Fortress is nice. Gonna get in now. Yeah, again, all these cards have done their job now. Raikou Mills Necro, that is pretty good. And a Vayu, that is also pretty good. Yeah, okay, now we're talking. Now we're seeing some stuff. Yeah, so the Prisma's going to get in. And they're going to pass. Draw for turn as a Cyber Dragon. Yeah, they've actually got some quite good lines now. So they can bait the other Crow with a Vayu. Then bury all them back. They've got armor to dump Plague. And they've got Cyber Dragon Special Summon. There's got to be a line here. I don't want to predict on it. I'm sure Tom's going to show us the line. But I just wonder if it gets through Solemn as well. So the Vayu's going to go off. That's going to make the Armed Wing. You've seen, I think they've seen the Burial. So they know that, yeah, that they can't really avoid this. Yeah, it's going to go in now to the Gear Frame. They're going to normal summon out the Armonite. I'm sure this is Plague. Dump the Plague and pass. I don't know, was there a better line? I feel like there was a better line. If you got Burial, Rotor, Cyber Dragon, Armonite, and a loaded Vayu, I feel like there was probably like a crazy line that ends on like Stardust. I don't know, something else. It just feels like this was not it. But Tomzo has taken quite a defensive line. Okay. Pass, draw for turn is Machina. Force. Yeah, so they're going to bring out the Fortress. This is the Burial. This isn't doing anything. I guess they're doing this first, so they don't have to commit into the Miracle Fusion. Checking for Bottomless. Well, they're saying that. Yeah, they've been through both of them, so it's not Bottomless. They're checking for or TT. Okay. I'm going to summon the Ab-Zero now. Yeah, Battle Phase. Fortress can get in. Prisma can get in. Then chooses not to attack with the Ab-Zero. Playing around D-Prison. Seen 2 of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe they just don't. Yeah. They just don't see it as a worthy risk. I don't think Vayu normally plays 3D Prison, though, and the Mirror Force would have gone off prior. Okay. Pass draw for turn is a Vayu now. They're going to special summon out the Cyber Dragon. Yep. They've got Plague. They can stack the Vayu, bring this out. Yeah, this is nice. This is Black Rose, but this is going to go right into a Solemn. Yeah, going to Solemn that. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not over though, right? That feels like a huge hit, but it's not over. They have a loaded Necro. They've got Armed Wing if they can get a Vayu to Grave, which they can with the Burial, because there's 2 here. And they can get a Plague, and they've got Rota for Armor Knight, if they probably don't play 3. For Greffa, maybe? For something they could stack with a Plague again. Okay, Tom's thinking they're going to Burial now. They put back Plague, Sirocco, and a Vayu. They're going to use those 2 for an Armed Wing. Is that right? You've got an Armed Wing here that you could make for an Armor Master. Oh no, now they have Plague. Yeah, okay. Okay, so Armed Wing B in. No, I assume they have a Plague play. Yeah, it's Plague coming out in main 2. That's going to get me out with a Crow though, and that is game. Yeah, so what were they going for here? Something big, I'm guessing. But that probably would have just got crashed with the Ab-Zero. Stardust would get crashed with either. Yeah, maybe it was Dark End, pop the Fortress. They no longer have a hand. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly they were going for. Yeah, I guess Dark End, negate the Ab-Zero attack, pop it next turn. Would have taken both monsters and put you both on top deck. But I don't like your chances with this graveyard. You know, they've got Waters and Heroes. They've got a Water and a Hero in there. And an Earth and a Hero. So I don't like your chances in a top deck war there. Although Vayu is probably the best deck to have in a top deck war. Just not if you've already gone through a lot of the cards that, that Tom's has gone through. Yeah, wow, really cool match. Not many notes. I think they both played really well. I think Tomzo did have a line that was a bit more established when they had the Burial Rota, Armor Knight, Cyber Dragon in hand, but I just can't imagine what it is. I'm not not a Vayu player by any kind of stretch. It just feels like, when you see those cards and you've got kind of loaded Graves or loaded Banish Zones, that actually those are pretty bomb cards. But yeah, Tomzo didn't feel like it, and they're a really good player, top 200, top 100 player, depending on what day you look at them. So yeah, I'm confident that they made the choice with the information they had as best they could. On this side, yep, I mean, Machina Hero is such a house of a deck. It really is just a bit it's really just a bit obnoxious, actually. It's just normal summon a Stratos, whether that's a gear frame or an actual Stratos, cycle up into big monsters, have Miracle Fusions, have good back row, and in this case draw double DD Crow in 2 games. So yeah, really well played though by Damn Shorty, and yeah, I think they're doing well with this deck at the top of the ladder. If this is what they've used to get themselves up to, just outside the top 200, it's pretty impressive. This deck's really cool. I like that they're playing Crystal Seer. I'm a fan of that. Really good to see this card back in action again. But yeah, really good to see Machina Hero. I think this deck is here to stay. I think it's really difficult to interact with in like effective ways when they've got bombs like kind of Fortress, Ab-Zero, when they've got consistency given by having 4 Stratoses, and yeah, and you're just never sure when they've got Miracle Fusion. I think this deck is probably here to stay, and if it's competing with Vayu at the top level, that's a really good sign. So I think we have a meta contender. I don't think it's as good as like Vayu, Blackwings, Frogs, but I think it's definitely up there, and it's definitely one that can take you by surprise if you're not expecting something this consistent and this like high power, and as aggro as this is, then you are gonna have to learn to play into it, and you're gonna have a scrappy match with it, and if you're not ready for that, it can be really intimidating. So really good match. Unfortunate for Tomzo, but really big win for Damn Shorty. Picking off someone like Tomzo's going to feel really good, and I'm sure we'll see them get into the top 200 soon.